Hey guys, today I'm making a tips and tricks video. Um, just some things about Premiere Pro, Adobe to help some editors out there be better at what they do, and to make your work more efficient, basically. And I'm sorry about my microphone. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if it's too loud or too quiet right now. But I know during the video right here, I noticed it was pretty loud. I tried to lower it, but it still kind of sounds a little distorted. Um, I guess you're just gonna have to bear with me for this one, but I promise the next time I'll get it sorted. Sorry about that, but enjoy the video. Something I recommend to all editors out there. It's always important to stay organized and to keep everything you need in a small, simple location. I have a folder called All Video Tools. I would recommend you make a folder called Video Tools, Video Editing, or something that makes you able to find it easily and recognize it. So as you see here, I got overlay effects, overlays, my video, and my music. I'm missing a few things here like fonts, and screen flashes, or film leaks, I think it's called. I'm missing a few things here. I'm not totally organized, but it's definitely something I should update here pretty soon. So yeah, so like as you can see, I got my overlay effects. These are all the fancy. Okay, that one had some interesting sound effects to it, but yeah, I mean, then I got the overlays, simple things like background. These all have music. Okay, don't want to get copyrighted for that, but yeah, I downloaded a few, blah blah blah, and I got my music. So yeah, there's that, and it's really simple. I mean, like, you could easily drag into here, or if you need just like your overlays, you just drag your overlays in. You want a certain song, you just okay, you just find, you click on whatever, bring in a random song, then you start your editing. So, but I just put all 8 of my overlays over that. Here's another thing about overlays. If you're not familiar with overlays, basically they look really weird and random like that, right? But when you click on them, and then you go over to your effect controls, and apparently, I don't know, I'm literally on effect controls. Let's forget that happened. You click on opacity, you go to blend mode. I typically use screen. You can use all sorts of things like soft light, but I typically use screen. And you can change the opacity of it, use it any way you like. Obviously, I wouldn't use this in the situation here, but just an example. You can do all sorts of things with this. Let's see how this one looks. Interesting. This one's interesting. Let's go screen. You can, if it doesn't look that great, you can lower the opacity to like 30%. You can do whatever. There's all sorts of things you can do with this, and it can give your video an edge over other people's videos, definitely. Another important thing you should be using as an editor is keyframing. As you can see here on the left side of the screen, you get these little dots, right? And I'm sure most of us are familiar with keyframing, but this is how you use it. So basically it goes frame by frame, and when you set a keyframe, you can set it to do anything you like. For example, let's put opacity right here and mask path. I can set my opacity higher. There's already a mask in place. In the path, I can change. Oh, my bad. Click on mask. You can change where the mask is at. This mask happens to be a color correction. As you can see, it changes what the video looks like. I'll put it right over here, and as you can see, it will now go to where it was before. Because we set a keyframe, what it does is it sets a position, and if you add another keyframe in a different time, it'll go to that. So if you look on the left here, it says feathering 10 at 10, opacity at 100%, and the position is right here, right? And if you go over here to where our other keyframes were, you can see there's no feather, and the opacity changes because it's not exactly on where the time was, and it will change and set to whatever you set it to. So this can be used for all sorts of different things, not only for color correction. This is just a random thing that I did to test it and to show you guys, but you can use it for anything, overlays, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, another huge thing I see people doing wrong is, and I've done this myself plenty of times, I lower my sound on my laptop just so my sound's low, right? Like casually if I'm watching a video or something, um, and for some reason I lower it here instead of on the video itself. Just for whatever reason you have your sound lowered here, um, don't ever forget to put it all the way back up when you start editing, because when you go and you listen to the audio and you're like, oh, it's kind of quiet, let me make it louder, right? So now it sounds good, right? You're forgetting that you have this all the way lowered. So when you export your video, post it on YouTube, send it to a client, you do whatever, you're basically going to kill their ears, and that's probably not something that you want. So you want to make sure you have it all the way up, or it's going to sound like this. And that's a little loud, you might want to bring that down. It's still kind of loud, but you get my point. Alright, so the last thing for today, if you ever find yourself with a lot of video and you have to render, but you go over and you click render into out, and it is going to take a long ass time, you don't have to do that. If you only have to render a certain area, what you can do is you click on your keyboard, you click I for in, and then you go to wherever, that's loud, and then you go to wherever you have to render, and you click O. And then now, you're only going to be rendering this little area, and you click render into out, and that is your into out. I for in and O for out, right? So you start rendering, and it'll be significantly faster than if you were to render the entire thing.